Hello gardeners, I'm Lourdes at Native Plant Channel, and I've got a really tough plant for you that's going to meet your needs for tough locations and just where you want a nice accent plant. And I'm talking about little bluestem. This is my favorite native grass, and that's because it's the poster child for low maintenance plants and because of its high ecological value. Little bluestem is our beautiful native grass. It grows when it's in bloom. You can see it grows a little over waist high, and it does so well in those hot, dry areas. This plant is truly like an almost no maintenance plant. The only thing you'll have to do to it is cut it back once a year. It's disease resistant, it's deer and rabbit resistant, it grows in hot, dry places. You don't have to water it, and as most native plants, you don't have to fertilize them. So it is just a fantastic addition to your garden that will bring you lots of pleasure and very little work. Little bluestems adds this lovely blue color that contrasts with other greens in your garden. When it blooms, it'll send up these spikes of seed heads. And, you know, grasses do actually bloom, and they send up seed heads. Little bluestem has a number of tones, so you'll see it turning different colors, pinks, purples. In the fall, it'll turn different colors, and it's just lovely. Very architectural, so it still looks good in the winter. When it is mature, you want to give it about 3 feet of width. It grows in your toughest places. This plant will grow along roadsides. It is salt tolerant. It is something that can be used, along the edges of, asphalt driveways, for example. And it just handles those conditions. Really, the only things it won't tolerate are shade and wet areas. It should be planted in full sun and average to dry soils, and it does tolerate heavy clay. It will need supplemental water only in its first year. As the season wears on or into the winter, you're going to see its buff colors and its lovely seed heads. So it is a wonderful plant that adds architectural interest to your garden. You'll see it spikes with its spikes standing straight up. And one very important thing about it is its wildlife value. This plant is used by 6 or 7 different Lepidoptera as its caterpillar food plant. So you'll be able to add skippers to your garden or feed skippers in your garden by having little bluestem there. It also provides nesting material for birds. It's a place where birds that nest on the ground can nest and hide. So it provides hiding places for them. So ecologically, it is a plant of high value. And again, it's deer and rabbit resistant, so you won't have to worry about it in that way. These plants were added as plugs earlier this spring. So you can see that even from small plugs, they do start growing, and by next year will make a nice impact in the garden. Again, take a look at the different tones that you can find in its leaves. It's not just the green and the blue, but a number of different colors. So it adds a lot of interest to your garden. It's nice texture, and these, if they're growing in full sun, will stay nice and upright for you. Here is what you can expect in the fall and winter. Again, lovely texture, lovely structure that you can count on. And hey guys, if your feet get cold, you can do as the Native Americans and use it to insulate your moccasins. For gardeners creating a meadow, little bluestem should be a key component due to its success as a meadow plant, ease of growing, and wildlife value. Native grasses, such as this switchgrass seen here, are wonderful additions to gardens. However, little bluestem is much easier to handle because a grass like this is more difficult to transplant, to dig up, and to keep in bounds. This grass combines well with many plants, but one of my favorites to use it with is the orange milkweed, which gives it such bright colors, contrasting colors that go with the blue and the bluestem. So that's one of my favorites, but it does go well with many plants. Thank you for what you're doing to help make your garden more eco-friendly. All of us can share in this responsibility to create a better world by planting native plants. Little bluestem has such high ecological value that you will really enjoy having it in your garden. Thank you for watching. I hope that you are inspired to use more native plants in your garden and to watch for the many insects and butterflies that you can find out there. Have a great day and keep adding those native plants.